Hello, beloved. It has been a warm day. Actually, by mid-afternoon, I was able to take off my jacket and be in a short-sleeve shirt, the sun shining brightly, the sky clear, and baby animals running through all of the beautiful spaces of a local rural settlement. It was an absolute pleasure to walk with my beloved child into the barns, to see her climbing into the stalls to pet kids and lambs, and to delight in the goodness of the woolly sheep, the silkiness of the goats, to laugh at their mothers calling to their infants, to see a baby kid that was only 3 days old with its mother, a very protective, very nurturing goat, you. It was a beautiful day to be in a place that is given over to its history and to remembering the people who lived there with great intention, with community, with a mindset of being of benefit in the world. That our creativity and our ingenuity is meant to be for the betterment of this life, not to be for the enabling of cruelty and harm. That our creativity is not here for us to craft ways to bring pain and suffering. Creativity without empathy, without compassion, without an abiding understanding of connection, too easily is cruelty, dehumanizing, undignifying, and ultimately hatred. In like manner, the insistence that there is nothing that we can do, there's nothing I can do, there is no way I can make this situation better, especially when we look at something where we were specific in its ringing out, in its wrought, and looking at it and saying, oh, there's nothing more I can do. There's nothing. I'm not able to exert any power, even to acknowledge my wrongdoing. Is almost worse than us looking at that, seeing what is happening and saying, there's nothing I can do. My creativity doesn't allow me any awareness of how to reach deep into the life-giving spaces of my being, of my community's being, of what is good and right and necessary. There is nothing in my own creative morality that helps me to realize that I have to act. When we sit in that, when we allow another's insistence that their creativity is broad and deep when it is cruelly inflicted, and yet shallow and insipid when they are called to account and to change their ways. When we sit and we acknowledge and say, oh yeah, and there's nothing I can do, it limits us. We are a society built on the lives of people who have endeavored again and again and again to insist on hope again and again and again to insist on a better way. And again and again and again to insist on our creativity, that I can see something more than what is here, that I can resist the things that are disintegrating our very communal being. We stand on those lives. We stand on the paths that they wrought. They didn't get it right. They didn't get everything right. There is so much that already needed to be addressed and was being addressed at such a plodding 2 steps forward, 5 steps back path. There are so many times that so many people have been told, just be patient, just be patient, just sit down and shut up and be patient. There are so many times that people were given that. People of color, people of the LGBTQIA plus community, women, people in rural places, people in urban places, people who were born on the side of the tracks that weren't acceptable, people who had disadvantage, people who fell on hard times, people who had to navigate whatever life gave them and kept coming and kept showing up again and again and kept holding on to their creativity, that there is something more here. There is something more to grasp. There is something more to reach out for. There is something more than this. There is new life, and there is new being, and there is joy in every blessed day. We stand on those lives, and we cannot now cease to be any less creative than we are created to be. In my tradition, we claim that we come from a deity that creates, and creates in such an amazing array, such a fathomless, bottomless well of creative expression. We believe in that and then claim to be in the image of that, and then shrug and say, there's really not anything I can do to alleviate suffering. There's nothing that I can do. There's no way I can be that would change this, so we'll just let it stay as it is and keep going on. Keep our heads down, and hopefully they won't notice us. If we keep ignoring it, then it will just pass us by, because we see how that works. History shows us how effective that is. If we do not insist there is more, then the capricious, chaos-dealing creativity of those who have refused their, in my tradition, innate core of empathy and compassion and love. If we give over to that, then we are complicit. Today I walked the pathways and the boardwalks of a historic community that sought to be accepting and welcoming of anyone who came to their door, who did not grant patents on any of the inventions that they developed, because they believed if you could make life better for someone, you didn't profit off of it, you shared it. And we went into their historic barn and we delighted in the animals, the ewes, and their young. and the people there with their young. The ingenuity, the creativity of the human mind is not something to belittle or dismiss. And this is not a moment to pretend that you don't have a creative spirit, but rather one to dig deep into that spirit and insist on its life-giving, community-oriented, welcoming, central core. I'll find you there, I hope. Blessings on the journey. You are not alone.